Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of FaB GaB. We just have a little laugh before we started here. We do this show when we can do it. Nothing regimented. We try to do Sundays. Not always a sure bet, but it's been for a while.
Yep.
And of course, I do it with my main co-host here, Matthew Street, who has his own Matthew Street channel that you should subscribe to. Hello, Matt. How are you today?
Hey, good, Joe. How you doing? Great to have Tom back again, too. I tell you.
Yes, indeed. And that's our special guest today. He is on his podcast, video cast with Andy Nichols. It's called Two Legs, Paul McCartney centric, as I like to call it. It features Paul McCartney, and they know everything there is to know about Paul. Oh man, I tell you,
we're learning.
So am I. So am I when I watch and participate. And also, of course, he's my fellow co-host for Talk More Talk, which we do every other Monday live on Facebook. And today we're going to try to rank the songs on the Abbey Road album, from what we'll call our least favorite to most favorite. One day we're going to get to some, solo albums, and we'll say worst songs. I don't know. It depends how much we like them.
Some will be like worst to okay.
Yeah. I with a couple of comments, I feel bad. I just want to say, like this one here that we had here. This is, I believe, Martin Norris. So unfair on those of us the other side of the Atlantic to have a midnight start. I got to go to bed now. I'm sorry. We've been doing them earlier, and we will do them earlier again at some point. Who knows? But we'll do the best we can. You can always watch the playback, and there's nothing set in stone here, as I always say. All right. So without further ado, let's just talk a little about what is there to say about an iconic album. That's another thing. Everybody knows the drill. Everybody knows the album, right? 1969, fall of 69. Abbey Road, technically their last album, right? That's a debate that goes on sometimes. People ask me, what do you consider their last album? Let It Be, because it was released, or this? What do you guys think about that? Anybody?
Tom? I consider Abbey Road their second to last. I mean, Let It Be is their last album. Yeah, I mean they recorded it, recorded Let It Be first, and then Abbey Road second, and released Abbey Road first. But I mean, Let It Be is still, it was released last. I mean, it's technically their last record, in my opinion.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just going to say I agree with Tom on as far as release dates. Yeah, it's their next to last album, but I always say they went out on top. They were at the top of their game when they left and broke up at the end of 69, coming into 1970. And Abbey Road was the last piece of recorded music they did together. So in that sense, the Beatles went out with their greatest triumph, I think. But I agree with Tom. Let It Be came later.
Yeah, Let It Be is no slouch either. I mean, it's got great songs on there as well, and it's number one album, right? I mean, they still went on top, no matter what album would have been last.
Right. There's no bad Beatles album. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think of it. I like to think of it as their final album, and of course, when I'm putting things on my shelves, I go chronologically, and I put Let It Be last. But that's how I like to look at it. Of course, the Beatles, or not all of them. Is it everybody but John got together in January 1970? Worked on I Need Mine.
George, Ringo, and Paul.
Paul and Ringo.
Yep. And I think as it says that the song "The End" is like the perfect way to end a career.
Oh, absolutely.
In a perfect world, Let It Be would have been released in early part of 69, and then Abbey Road would have come at the end of the year. But, where the four of them were one cohesive unit, working with George Martin to create brilliance, it's Abbey Road. I mean, it was that final moment together as a band. But
yeah.
I know that people were wondering because they were asking me, are you going to, when you rank this album, the songs, are you going to have the medley all together, or are you going to break it up? And some people are against breaking it up, but that's what we're going to do here. We're going to break all the songs up individually, such as it is.
I got to say that was tough. It was tough to break up these medleys. Because,
yes, it was.
And there was one point I was doing. I said, well, maybe I'll just keep there were 3 of them that were together in one of the medleys. I said, well, I'll just keep them in a row, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah,
but I didn't do that. I did split them up. So
in the case of some, I think some songs that are in the medley are better than some of the songs that are not included in the medley.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And here he is, Tom Hunyadi. I don't know if I said that before. Anyway. Oh boy. But yeah, listen, I'm drinking it all in the comments as well. But yeah, I was saying before the show, this was, I say this all the time, but this time it really was the hardest album for me to rank. And I think because of breaking that medley up.
Breaking the medley up made it tough. Yeah.
Wondering if one of a piece of music that's not necessarily a finished song in some cases, is that better than a finished one, and so on. So I did the best I could, folks, for this, and I'm sure Matt and Tom also did the best they could.
Yeah, I'll just say this to kind of highlight what you just said, Joe, is that some of these songs, when they're in the medley, as if you look at them in that context, they're great. Oh yeah, they fit right. When the minute you try to pull them out and rank them as a song, they dropped a little bit on the list for me.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed.
And I'll tell you that right now, if we're ranking the medley on its own, I probably would have put that number 1 for me, or 2 or something.
I think I was definitely have it up there somewhere boom, right there. Yeah.
Right.
But I didn't do that.
Now you guys officially consider there'd be 2 medleys on this album, right? 2.
I would say 2.
Yeah,
for sure.
I don't really, that's weird because Andy, your partner there on 2 legs. Maxwell's number 1. Boom. Thanks. Bye. You mean number 1 to go, Andy, or number 1?
I don't want to give too much away, but if that's true, Andy's not going to be happy with me.
Oh no, you gave it away. No.
Sorry.
Anyway, where were we? We were just going on at something.
Talking about the medleys.
Yeah, well, what can I say? The medley. I
always thought of it as being 2 medleys. There's 2 medleys on this album.
2 medleys, and to me, I don't know. I'm trying to think of I always thought once you start hearing those crickets start coming in, and for Sun King, I always think that's when it starts. Yeah. 1 medley from there.
Yeah, and that's a good question. I mean, do you consider that 3 medleys then? Because if you can get, because you look because you never give me your money in Sun King, they kind of, and especially you never give your money into Sun King with those crickets, they kind of almost form a medley in a way. So in a way, you could look at there's 3 medleys on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I don't count the cause as part of me personally, as part of anything. But I don't know what their intentions were. But I don't. I don't think of that as it kind of ends pretty abruptly. All right. Are we ready to go?
Man, might as well try.
Because it's 17 tracks. So
17. Good. I'm glad I got it right.
If you know what I mean. Sure. You know what I mean.
And that was an exciting thing for me, getting, seeing a record, with 17 tracks on it, even though those tracks were shorter, or some of those tracks. But I think that was pretty exciting for me, when I first started in the mid 80s collecting all the albums and seeing 17 tracks, I was like, ooh.
Yeah, a lot to go through. A lot to go,
a lot to dissect and take in. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I was thinking as we were going to do this, I thought this would be not too long of a show, but I thought no, 17 tracks times 3 of us. So let's start with Tom for
special guest.
Number 17. Tom, what do you have at the back?
Well, I generally love every song on this record, so it is what it is. Her Majesty is I put it at the end because it's 30 some odd seconds long.
Yeah.
It's just a nice little tune. I love Paul singing his vocal approach on the song, but it suffers because of that fact. I mean, it's really quick. There's no other. It's a repetitive. There's no other really much going on in the song, so I chose Her Majesty as number 17.
Good.
Okay. I hear an echo of my voice. Is anybody open? I don't think I've checked. I don't think I'm open. Anybody hear an echo?
No.
Did I just hear an echo with my headphones?
No, I'm good.
I hear a little bit too. It's your voice, Joe. Oh, and then now I hear it. It's mine, but
I don't know where it's.
I don't hear any echo whatsoever.
I don't have YouTube or anything.
Unless someone's on a delay.
Yeah, just let us know, folks, if you hear anything. All right, so Matt, let's go to you. You hear somebody hears echo for number 17. What do you
Yeah,
have?
I'm with Tom. Her Majesty. It's a cute little ditty. I like it. I think it must be on Abbey Road. I would not get rid of it if someone said, "Oh yeah, just get rid of it." No, no, no. I think it should be there. It's part of the whole shebang. But I have to admit, I like the longer version, the rough version on the Abbey Road deluxe box
Oh
set.
yeah, the
It's
long
I
one.
think it's
Whatever
like
it was.
two something minutes long, two
Right.
minutes and something. I like that. I like when you get more of it and
Right.
more Paul doing that. I think it's a pretty cool little thing. But like Tom said, it just a little too short here. Short little thing. Yeah, not throw away though. Keep it here, but number 17.
Do you think it works better if they just left it uncredited? You know what I mean? Just on the back of the album, you see the end is the last title that you see, and then just because I think that's what how originally was, right? Her Majesty was never on the back credits.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a picture disc I have. It's not on there.
Okay.
And of course, the story is interesting too. How that came to be when Paul originally didn't like Her Majesty. It was the medley was in a different order,
right?
And Her Majesty was in the medley, and he said, "Take it out," and told him to throw it away. The engineer, but rather than do that, he put a tag at the end, a long leader, and saved it at the end.
Smart
and when they
man.
heard it, they thought it was. He thought it was so cool,
right?
And it is. It's a good surprise. Well, anyway, cool or not, I put it at number 17.
Hey, we matched on one.
Well, that was an easy one. Mostly because of the length, of it really more than anything. So that's pretty easy. And as I'm looking around here, without showing it, people pretty much have Her Majesty at the end. But here's an interesting question from Saul Perez. It says, "Do you guys prefer Her Majesty at the end of the LP or after Mean Mr. Mustard?"
Was that the way it was on the archive set? On the archive
what do they call that? The big one? What was that? Great?
Yeah, the long one or something like that.
The long one.
Yeah. I didn't like, but I'm used to this for 50 years or whatever it is.
Right.
But I thought they were so right to change it around. I think it's amazing as it is now, as it was released. I don't like the other way.
No, I agree with you guys. I like it as
fair enough. Yep. Leave it as is.
Yeah, here you go. Stephen thinks they made the right decision. Yeah, I agree. All right, let's start with Matt now for number 16. What do you got, Matt?
Well, this is where Andy said he was just kidding, so I think he'll still like me because I had put Maxwell Silver Hammer at number 16.
Oh, he said he was kidding. Yeah,
he was only joking. Anyway, when I was a little kid, I loved Maxwell Silver Hammer. I really thought it was a funny song.
Right.
I loved the sound effects when he hitting the anvil with the hammer. I thought that was the greatest thing. Would laugh my butt off. And I still like the song. I think it's a cool little song. It's okay now. Kind of silly, but it's a fun song. But in the scope of this album and the other material on here, it's just, to me, if I have to say one's kind of a throwaway, it would be Maxwell. So I put it at 16.
All right.
Okay, and the Beatles weren't very fond of it.
I was going to say, wasn't this a song that the others hated rehearsing?
That and Obla Di Obla Da, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go with you, Tom, for number 16.
All right, my 16 is Carry That Weight. It's just it's again it's a short number like a bunch of these, and it's just Ringo kind of repetitive. I do like the fact that they do tie in a little bit more of "You Never Give Me Your Money" in that song, but I'm just not a big fan of listening to Ringo sing "Carry That Weight" over and over and over again. But I do enjoy it. I don't skip any songs on this album when I'm listening to it. But this is one that, every once in a while I would think about it, but I don't. Right. But Carry That Weight is 16.
Okay. I'm with you, Tom. Number 16, Carry That Weight. Largely for all the reasons you said, it's short. I think the best bit about it is when they kind of revisit the "You Never Give Me Your Money" bit. That I love that part of it.
Yes.
And you can hear Ringo prominently. I've always said that. I've always heard Ringo more prominently, although they're all pretty much singing, right?
Right. Ringo's vocals are the predominant vocals on that track.
Yeah, you can really hear him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So okay, so we tie there for Carry That Weight. Now, as I scroll up the comments here, I noticed that Sarah here said Her Majesty, which makes me wonder, did I miss what she had for number 17?
I didn't see it. Yeah, I didn't see what
Oh, I Want You, She's So Heavy.
Wow.
That's interesting. I mean, I could understand that in a way. Why it wouldn't be for everybody, that kind of thing. It is long and overindulgent, that kind of thing. Very interesting. And there you go. There's a Maxwell match for you there, Matt.
Me, yeah, I got one there.
All right.
We got Mean Mr. Mustard. And if you look at my notes wherever I put that, I wrote Mean Mr. Mustard in big letters with my pen, so I don't say mayo.
You don't want to say mayo by me, yeah.
I'm so used to saying that. All right, so let's see what we got here. Day Tripper agrees with you there, Matt.
All right.
Excellent.
Another Maxwell.
There's another one. Douglas
Maxwell.
Gilbert.
Wow. Matt for the lead.
Polythene Pam, number 16.
Oh, that's different.
Sun King.
Ooh, that hurts a little.
Golden Slumbers. There's a Carry That Weight. It's too heavy, man. You know what I mean? There we go. Carry That Weight, meaning the burden of once being in a band, the Beatles. Don't know. Here's interesting. My wife thinks Maxwell Silverhammer would make a good horror film. I don't know. Maybe a sci-fi movie. The Banana Splits monster.
Sharknado. People that brought a Sharknado. Yeah, maybe.
I get you with that. All righty, let's move on, shall we, to number 15. And I have myself last for all of these just have.
That's fine. Yeah. If it helps you keep track better.
It helps me keep up where we are and stuff for this.
Right.
So we're gonna go to Tom for number 15. What do you have, Tom?
Yeah, this is where it starts getting tough because I really, love and cherish, the rest of these songs, and I went with Because. Again, because I know, again, because there's not really much to it, I think, but the harmonizing though between the three, it's just gorgeous. It really is. And I should have this higher. I really do. John's vocals are terrific, but I just find it slightly less interesting than the rest of the tracks. But again, John's vocals, because he's more the predominant voice in this. It's great. It's great.
Yeah,
everything is we love on here. I don't know about Maxwell. You love that one too. I don't know.
Even Maxwell, I like.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Well, let's see what you have for 15, Matt. What do you got?
This is where I throw Carry That Weight. One beyond you folks. As part of the medley, I think it's fine. It's good. But when you take it by itself and you're trying to rank it like this, it's to me just okay. It's like it's got to be in the medley. If it's not in the medley, then it's a song that needs to be fleshed out more and worked on more, and it just doesn't quite do it for me on its own. So I put it at 15.
No, it works great in the medley for sure.
Right.
But like you say, that's why it's the first one I picked out of the medley, other than Her Majesty.
Once you start pulling these little tracks out of their respective medleys, some of them fall apart for me a little bit.
Well, I don't know if my choice for number 15 is going to surprise some people, but I put Polythene Pam at number 15. Same thing, really. It works wonderfully in there in the medley. It's just on its own as a piece of it's not very interesting on its own and unfinished, of course, and incomplete. I really dig it where it is on the album, when you listen to the medley. But something's got to be number 15, and I went with Polythene Pam.
Okay.
All right, so now to just check some of the comments here. Let's see. Yeah, Gideon would have the medley at 1 if everything was combined.
Yeah, it absolutely could be there.
Yeah, but which one?
Well, which one? The only one. I want to say hi to Darren Gamble. Hello, Darren. It's infectious, Daniel Bean said about that. Maxwell Silverhammer, Passara at number 15.
Okay.
Oliver
Ooh,
joining
Ringo
us.
shows up.
Wow.
Octopus's Garden. Maxwell Silverhammer, 2019
He likes the
remix.
remix.
This is great.
Right.
And 15, we got Carry That Weight.
Hmm.
Carry That Weight again. Carry That Weight again. And Maxwell Silverhammer from Jazzy Jimmy.
Thor loves that song.
There you go. He's got it. He's got that big hammer. All right. Now we're going to go to track number 14.
Yeah.
And we're going to bounce over to Matthew to start.
Yeah, it's funny when you get to the next couple of few from me, you're going to hear me say the same things we've all kind of been saying. It's Mean Mr. Mustard. It's number 14 for me. As part of the medley, again, I'm going to say these same things. It's great. It's awesome in the medley, but you pull it out and it's okay. It's like it's just unrealized on its own. It's not quite where it should be. It needs to be, again, I'm using the same term, fleshed out more. It's one of those little tunes that I like it as part of this album. It's brilliant, but you have to put it somewhere on its own little plane. And
agreed. Yeah.
14.
Yeah. All right.
Mean Mr. Mustard.
Okay. All right. Up to you, Tom, for number 14.
Number 14. Again, it's the harmonizing on the beginning of this. I mean, Sun King. Beautiful harmonizing on there. When I first discovered this album, I had a field day learning the foreign words, Gwendo, Palamucho, mi amor, going on and on. Yeah. Just learning those words. And it was a lot of fun. And just, they were great harmonizers and they really did a great job with this song. So Sun King. Yeah.
All right.
Sun King for Tom at number 14. Okay, I'll be the first one to mention this song, I think, because pretty sure. It's The End. I put it number 14.
Wow.
And, again, why? We say this so often. I mean, it's hard to rank these albums, when you like everything. And where do you put this? Where do you put that? It's great, of course. And I always said when I was in school, freshman year in high school, Kiss was the most important thing. Everybody was talking about Kiss, and they couldn't believe I still liked the Beatles. And I, the Beatles, they broke up 6 years ago, or whatever it was. And I thought that when I first heard the end, it was kind of when they go, "Oh yeah,
right,
right." It could have been like Christine, 16,
yeah.
And I thought, they're like this, the Kiss Beatles, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
But of course, Ringo's got the drum solo. Fantastic for the only real drum solo that Ringo has, and all the guitar trade-offs where you got John's bit, Paul's bit, George's bit.
It's just probably the only time the three of them did something like that together. I think,
and whether it was intended or not, and they say not, but I kind of think it was. They knew it in a way that I think. They're playing like they know this is going to be like the finale, quite possibly. So I think it's so great when it comes back at the end with that great line, and in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
Iconic. Yeah,
I don't think any other artist has ended on such a note like that.
And that's it. Career done, finished, so to speak. We leave you with this, and it's great. But if I'm talking about it this much, why isn't it higher? I don't know. Today, that's where I put it. Number 14.
14.
The end. But still, it's just a track from the end of the medley. All right, so let's look at some of the comments here. Okay,
Harrison, harmony.
Yeah, you like the 3 parts.
Then they multiplied it times 3, right? It ended up being 6, I think. Yeah,
I think so.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mean Mr. Mustard. Mean Mr. Mustard is a perfect antidote to the heavier tracks. Good fun. Carry That Weight. Consider it a Ringo tune. He says, "There you go."
Like Tom said, Ringo's voice is so prominent.
Right.
The Crickets. Peter Boothroyd says the Cricket sounds so crisp on the 2019 mix. We got Sun King at number 14. Here's Matthew Smith running late. 17, Maxwell.
How you doing, Matt?
Maxwell, Octopus, and I Want You.
Maxwell was the last track on there for.
Wow.
Wow, that's very interesting. Hello to Alan C. Records out there.
Hey, Alan.
She came in through the bathroom window.
Well, that hurts. That
hurts.
And the mean Mr. Mayor. Of course, I know that Andy Nichols, if you're listening, I know you got Her Majesty at number 1, right? I know. It's okay. Just kidding. All right, folks. Let's go to number 13. And let's start with you, Tom.
Mean Mr. Mustard. Matt said, I mean, when you take it out of context of the medley, I mean, it's unrealized. It's not much going on there, but when you do think about it, I still think of it, even though I'm putting it this low out of the medley, it's still in my mind the start of the medley, and it's the start of a story, of a bigger story, and you know what I mean. And it's good. I like the lyrics. I like the approach. You know, I think it's fun. I like the inclusion of Sister Pam, and then where we go into later on, and I think it's a good beginning of a bigger picture.
Well said. Well said. All right, Matthew, we're going to you for number 13.
This is where I go with Polythene Pam. Again, as part of the medley, fabulous. When you put it alone, it's still fabulous. Okay.
Yes.
But I just wish it was longer. I've always loved Polythene Pam since I was young. It's one of those, like you were talking about Kiss, Joe, with the end earlier, but I always thought Polythene Pam, if it was a full realized song with guitar solo in it and everything, that would be one of the best rocking Beatles songs ever. I love it. It's just great rock and roll Beatles, and I wish it was longer, but because of the length of it, and it's not quite where I wish it could be, I put it at 13.
Okay. And Peter Boothroyd complimented your Abbey Road cap.
Oh, yeah, thanks. I got it in Las Vegas a few years ago.
At the Love Show, right?
At the Love Show. Love Show.
Yeah. That's a wonderful shop. That Love Show shop is
you walk in there,
really,
you're like,
nice.
It's like Disneyland for Beatle fans. It's like,
yes.
I want to buy everything.
I know.
Well, folks, for me, for number 13 today, as I rank them right now, this is where I've put Maxwell Silverhammer. I put it at number 13.
Okay.
Every time I talk about it, I've done this on other shows I've been on. I think I made a video where I brought this song up as some of the most underrated songs. I don't love the song. I mean, it's got that annoyingly silly McCartneyisms to it. That, especially after you hear it, you hear the other songs that start the album come together in something, and then we do that song, Maxwell Silverhammer, as like a la-di-da kind of thing. But the reason I defend it is because I know what he was trying to do. I mean, I always say it's a song about a murderer, a serial killer. We forget. Sometimes you don't even think of it like that. It's not just having some fun playing jacks or something. This is about a guy that sneaks up behind you and rams you in the head with a hammer and you're dead. But because it's a juxtaposition of doing it in such a happy-go-lucky way is what kind of like makes it like odd, and that's what saves it for me. If it was talking about his cat or something, I think I really couldn't deal with it. But I think it saves it because the subject matter is so offbeat,
right,
from the actual melody and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, number 13, I put that. And I'm going to go back a little here.
We were kind of in the same area with that one, kind of.
Come Together, so overplayed.
Sometimes you gotta ignore that fatigue. I mean, fatigue factor plays in sometimes.
Yeah, it does. That's what you can all attest to. And there's
I was just saying, some of the albums we've done, I let fatigue factor take over a little bit depending on the album.
Right.
On this one, I tried not to do that because it's such a pristine, triumphant album.
Agreed.
Right, but 100%. Yeah, so it's funny. Fatigue factor is not one size fits all for some reason.
Right.
I don't know why.
True.
When it comes to ranking these, I don't know why. All right, Sun King, number 13 for Sarah.
Okay.
Matthew Smith, Here Comes the Sun at number 13. Now that's interesting. Talk about played out. That song is played.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not saying anything.
Mean Mr. Mustard, number 13 from Steven. Let's go. Oh, here's another. Here Comes the Sun. Fatigue Factor being released.
Wow, Beans. Oh
Beans,
boy, you
Beans.
got some splaining to do.
I ain't saying nothing. Nothing. Shut
Yeah, this is a good point. Polythene Pam. Yeah, that's fun part of him, emphasizing his Scouse accent. During that. Yeah, that's fun. Thank you very much, Daniel. See, because I'm like the moderator and I have control of the comments, I can put things like this up. Okay, sorry, Ringo. Jazzy Jimmy's got Octopus's Garden at number 13.
Huh?
The End, number 13. Sorry to Matt.
Wow.
Well, I don't have as high as you think. That's all I'll say.
The End. I love the Ringo drum solo and it got a DeVita. Did I say that right? I don't know. Because number 13. Okay. So we'll move on to number 12.
All right.
And start with Matthew.
Yeah, this is where Sun King pops up for me. Again, as part of the medley, this is great. And alone, it's great. I love this song. I think Sun King is unreal. I wish it was fleshed out. I wish this song was fully realized. I could ask you guys something. Have you ever read or heard the story that somehow John was influenced by Fleetwood Mac?
I was going to mention that when I got to the song, Albatross.
Okay, maybe you can talk about it, Joe, when you get to it.
No, but I don't have much to say about it, but that.
Yeah, I just heard that. I heard that there's some early Fleetwood Mac material that somehow influenced this. I don't know much about.
Yeah, listen to it, and it'll break your heart.
Really? All right. I'd be willing. Yeah, I want to learn about that a little more.
John's nicking of songs, huh?
Right. But that all aside, I love this song. I've always been in love with it. I just love the vibe of it. I think those little guitar arpeggios are just so smooth and so well done. I love it. I wish it was a full song. And that's all I'll say about it. I won't get into the nicking thing. I'll just say I love Sun King, but it had to go somewhere, so it went to number 12.
I'm with you. I like that. I like that description, the explanation for how you feel about it. Okay, Tom, what do you got for number 12?
The continuation, part 2 of that wonderful medley, Polythene Pam. Again, love the story, the continuation of that story. I love John's vocals on there. Matt, you're 100% right. I mean, that's a great rocking number, especially the solo at the end of that leads into, she came in through the bathroom window. You should see Polythene. She's so good looking. She looks a man. You see her in drag just in the Polythene. Lyrically, it's really good. And but just wish it was a little bit more, maybe a chorus of another verse or something like that, and then keep that solo in there. That solo is excellent. But yeah, I mean, it's just too bad that it wasn't its own song. Right. So, but yeah, Polythene Pam.
Okay. Good description.
Yeah. Number 12 for me. I wish I could love this a lot more than I do. But it's but it still made it to number 12 for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. The harmonies are great. The singing's great. They're so perfect on that. There's even cases where you can hear it just them, just the Beatles singing that a cappella kind of thing, and it's really beautiful. But I don't know why that never was higher for me. Now, I know people said it was Moonlight Sonata backwards. I think John said that. He said that. Now, I didn't know really this part. I was doing just a little research of this song, and I knew that he had mentioned Moonlight Sonata, but I didn't realize Yoko, supposedly, is it true? Anybody know? Yoko was playing this on a piano, Moonlight Sonata.
I think I had heard that.
Because she's was trained in piano.
Classically trained piano.
Yes, that's right. Yoko can play an instrument, and I think then John said supposedly, "Can you do it backwards?" John, let's put everything backwards, or whatever, or sideways or upside down, and that's the idea. That's what they were going for with it. But yeah, I put Because there at number 12. Okay. All right, folks. Now, Kilgore Trout. The bass line to "She Came In Through the Bathroom Window" has stuck with me for decades.
Paul's bass playing on this whole album is stellar. Just great.
And let's just go here.
A lot of stellar things about this album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So apparently, I put this up before that. In the end, the drum solo is right out of In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida.
First time hearing that. I didn't know that either.
You know. What are we up to? No, okay, number 12. We'll just get mixed up because the numbers I see here.
Yeah.
Sun King, number 12 here. Matthew Smith had Her Majesty all the way
up to 12.
12.
Wow.
What can you expect from a guy that doesn't love My Love by Paul? Just playing with you, Matthew. We have that little joke. You Never Give Me Your Money at number 12. I have a feeling that would be Andy's number 1. I don't know why. That's now that I think of it. Sun King at number 12. Something at number 12. Sorry, fellas,
Wow.
David says.
That's bizarre. But I love you, David.
Polythene Pam, great song, but too short.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed, Steve.
That's what I've heard on the Yoko piano thing. Matthew
The isolated track though of Because on the Abbey Road box set, it's beautiful.
Oh, with the vocals only?
Yeah, with the vocals only. Yeah.
And that's Matthew Smith's classic response.
My love.
That's My Love. Okay. All righty. So that brings us to number 11.
Yes, sir.
And that means we're going to go over to Tom again for number 11. Let's go, Tom.
Once There Was a Way, Golden Slumbers. Beautiful song, beautifully sung by Paul. I mean, some of the vocals here from all three individuals are some of their best vocals, I think, up to this point in time. And I think Paul has some amazing vocals, especially when he gets to the, golden slow, feels right, and that last one that he does is really just raw and powerful. Smiles awake, when he gets into that, it's really it's great. Again, and there's another really good short little guitar bit in there. But man, just the good stuff. Golden Slumbers. But right. As you can see, I got a theme here of the shorter songs towards the end. Though.
Yeah. Well, whatever works for you, it doesn't work the right way. Whatever. Yeah. Okay, Matthew, let's see what you got for number 11.
For number 11, I went with The End. Again, like I say with these medley songs, I love it in the medley, but this one I also love it on its own. I just think it's such a unique song. It's one of the most unique songs in the whole Beatles catalog. When you're talking, you got all three Beatles trading off killer guitar solos. You got Ringo doing a simple but one of his only drum solos in a Beatles song, but it's so effective to see them all together creating like that. And I just love it. And Paul, from the day I saw him back on the 89-90 World Tour, he's been playing this song sporadically on his tours. It just always brings the house down. And when he gets to the end, it's just fabulous. The only reason I didn't put it a little higher and I put it at 11 is because I think one of you mentioned, like, I wish it was a more fleshed out, complete song. But I love it as it is. And it's a great way for them to finish their musical career, such a legacy, and this, to end on those notes, and the love you make is equal to the love you take. It's just how there's no other musical artist in history that could end their career on such a note, such a great positive note like that, and they did it. And,
summed it up a decade. They summed up a decade with that last lyric.
You nailed it. You nailed it, Tom. Yeah, absolutely. So number 11, I love it, but it's at 11.
Okay. And I loved hearing Paul all the time doing that live and ending, the da-da at the end. That's till the end, really, of the show.
Yeah.
Other than when you come back, of course, for encores. But you know what I mean. Number 11 for me, this is where I play Sun King. Since the first times I was discovering Abbey Road, I didn't really catch Abbey Road till 77 or 78, really. It was a little later. I always loved that. I love the way it comes in. I love the crickets that are, cricket sound, and nighttime calm feeling by like a campfire or something. Kind of at the end of You Never Give Me Your Money into Sun King. And then I just love the nice kind of cool, calming sound, relaxing sound of Sun King. I love the mood of it, the feeling of just being out there, I don't know, amongst the stars. And then, I made a video, as much as I'm a John fan, a big John fan, but you know that
don't
I always
say.
say he's my favorite. But when it comes to songwriting, I think I always put Paul a little ahead, and I find more cases with John apparently nicking, which is what the video is about, nicking things from other artists.
Right.
And yeah, Albatross. Somebody told me once, listen to Albatross by Fleetwood Mac, and I hadn't heard it. And this is only going back a few years ago, 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago. And I said, "Oh my god!" And you know, it disappointed me because, you know, you want to think that your favorite artist kind of like
Right.
was responsible for that, and I noticed that more and more with things. We could do a whole show about that sometime. So we won't do it all here. I'll just mention Happy Christmas when I found out it was Stu Ball.
Oh, I remember your video on that one. You were really bummed out on that
come
one.
on. You know, I'm like, great Christmas song, you know? And it's Stu Ball, the folk song. You know, I'm like, oh, man. But anyway, I love you anyway. How you doing, Johnny? As Ringo would say. So Sun King, there you go for me at number 11.
11, okay.
And let us see what we can see here. Mean Mr. Mayo.
Number 11. Wow.
Number 11.
I want to hear that song.
Mean Mr. Mustard. Because at number 11. Golden Slumbers at number 11. Paul's bass on I Want You is crazy. Yeah, I know a guy that's always raving about that.
Yeah.
He's a guitar player, bass player, and he's always raving about it. Tom said it all for Golden Slumbers. We have another Mean Mr. Mustard.
At 11, okay.
Okay. And that'll be it for this moment. Let's go with the top 10.
Top 10.
Okay. All right, so we're in the top 10. What do you got, Matthew, to start
Matthew?
off?
Okay, my turn, number 10. You Never Give Me Your Money. I love this song.
I'm with you, Tom.
It's just
ouch.
I love this song. It's great. I even think alone it's great. It's I think it was the 2005 tour. Paul played this live.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And it just was stunning because no one expected it. And whenever he was at the front of the stage doing it kind of solo on his little upright piano,
right?
And it just took people's breath away. It was just unbelievable. I didn't know the set list before I saw that tour. And whenever he did that song, I was like, you got to be kidding me. It just was unreal. It's an awesome, beautiful song, but there's just 9 others that I think are a little bit ahead of it. So I put it in number 10.
All right. Well, there you go. And for you, Tom, what do you have to start out the top 10?
The top 10, the end. Again, for what you guys said, it's magical. The guitar licks between the 3, not really so much for the drum solo, but the iconic, last lyrics, Paul just proving that, he can just write, really good song or write really good lyrics. Because I still feel sometimes that John can be a better lyricist than Paul. John's proved it, but once in a while, Paul came up with just some brilliant lyrics. And I think these are brilliant lyrics that, again, you're very positive, very, hopeful. And it is beautiful. And it's something that we all should, try to inspire to be. And it's beautiful, iconic, and the end. I mean, I wish this was kind of like a more realized song, but then again, I'm thinking, well, would it still be as powerful as it is here? So maybe you just leave it alone, and just,
works great in the medley at the end. At the end.
Points, Tom. Great.
All right. Now for me, for number 10. I don't know. I'm looking at my list and I'm thinking, this is how I feel right now, as I say, at this moment. However, you think, is this really in the top 10? Maybe I have personal reasons for it. Maybe my channel. I don't know. But I have Mean Mr. Mustard at number 10.
Wow.
But even before I called myself Mean Mr. Mayo, I always loved it when that comes in on the medley. I just, I don't know what to say about it. The melody of it, the the whole feel of it, the groove of it, but it's so it's short. Now, of course, on bootlegs, there are a version of it where it goes on longer. But he's pretty much John just saying the same thing over and over again, and saying his sister Shirley works in the shop, and instead of Pam, turned into Pam, which is better, which is much better, fits much better. And I love that, but that goes nowhere either. It's a song that really didn't go anywhere. But I love the sound of it. Just too darn short.
Right.
But I like it that much that when I was doing this, I found I had to boost it up more, just the melody, and instrumentally. I know it's not a tuba, but it's something that sounds like a tuba. I don't know what it is, but I love whatever that is, folks. And now I'm going to get a lot of feedback saying, "Well, you don't know what it is. What kind of fan are you? You come up here and take a seat. See how you do. You're welcome. All right, to come on. All right, so that's it for the 10th song.
Okay.
Which now I'm going to take a look here. There's questions here like not related to this. I'm sorry, folks, if I don't answer them. Matthew Smith's got "Come Together" at number 10.
Oh.
Let's see. "Oh Darling" at number 10 for Oliver.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
She came in through the bathroom with, I don't want to tip my hand too much, but with "Oh Darling," ooh. "Octopus's Garden" at number 10. "You Never Give Me Your Money." Also, Orange Bicycle did this.
Oh, that must be an artist I've not heard of.
"Octopus's Garden."
Lovely song.
Woodland Goblin's making some interesting little. He's doing a John song there for a Paul comment. Anyway, number 10, "She Came In Through the Bathroom Window." I heard John said it was Linda coming in through the bathroom window. Well, it wasn't, right? But we'll get to that later.
Yep.
Or was it? No.
No, it wasn't.
I put something at 11, but a few years ago would have been right up there. I feel bad.
Yeah, there's got to be a fatigue factor with David there, huh?
I think it's now. Here's the thing. They told me that you pronounce that Moog, not Moog. Is that
Moog
correct?
or Moog? I always called it Moog, but
I've always called it Moog too. And in my record store, they're all telling me Corey and all the people. It's Moog. I'm like, then why don't they just spell it differently? I don't know. But "You Never Give Me Your Money." Great, Matt. You ever give me your money?
Yeah, we matched on that one, huh?
Remember this, folks, and also Imagine wouldn't have been made. And "Oh My Love" was from John's solo career and so on. So you'd be surprised.
I forget, is Woodland Goblin a John guy or a Paul guy?
No, he's a Paul guy, but he's trying. He's trying to be fair.
Oh, okay.
Is he a Paul guy? Oh, he's a Paul guy.
Oh,
and here you go. Of course, it's the same thing. I'll tell you what the point. I gotta try to be calm. And if it wasn't for Linda, maybe I'm amazed would have been made. What's the point? I'll speak for him. What the point is? The point is everybody's always bashing Yoko all the time, and then he's trying to restore it. People always gave Linda more respect, even though I know it wasn't always the case, especially not at first, and when she married Paul. But anyway, let's go on to number 9, shall we, folks?
Nine.
And Thomas, what do you have for number 9?
Maxwell's Silver Hammer. I have at 9.
Okay.
It's about time.
Yes. Well, I have always liked the song. I don't understand the kind of, if you want to call it hate, we'll call it hate. But I don't understand the hate on this song. I think it's a great story, a fun story. Yes, a violent story, but I think it's told more playful, I think, than violently. It's musically, you don't think violence when you hear the song either. I think it's done just right, really, where you think of it. Yeah, it's a violent song kind of in the way, but you don't feel it while you're listening to it. So I don't feel threatened. I'm not looking over my back. Or I'm not, leaving all the lights on at night when, after I hear the song or whatever like that. But so I don't feel like threatened anyway. I just think I've always just considered this a fun story in the middle of a great album, or towards the beginning or whatever of a great album. And I don't mind it. I've always enjoyed it.
Now maybe if we had those lyrics with Helter Skelter music, you might be frightened.
Ooh, yes, maybe
you'd be scared.
Maybe number 9 or Revolution number 9.
Yeah.
This comment is so perfect, right?
There you go.
Dark comedy in a song.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Joe. I mean, that would probably, was it Matt or Joe that said it would make, or somebody made a comment that would make a great movie. Or fun, a fun short, a short film or something like that. Yeah.
There you go, Day Tripper.
Okay.
Yeah, because of my comments, I do appreciate that about it.
Right.
It's a kind of a creepy thing, but it's done in another way.
Right.
Completely.
Mm-hmm.
So Matt, why don't you take us to your number 9? Let us know what you have.
This is where Ringo pops up.
Yeah.
Octopus's Garden is my number 9, but you know what? Even though it's number 9, folks, let me tell you, in my opinion, this is one of Ringo's finest moments with the Beatles, bar none. Right. I mean, I love this more. I know he didn't write Yellow Submarine, but I like this song better than Yellow Submarine. I like his performance here better. I love the guitar work and the solo. The sounds they got out of those guitars on this song are beautiful. I just think it's a fabulous song, and if I was pressed against the wall, I might say this is Ringo's best moment in the Beatles, Octopus's Garden.
Wow.
He wrote it, his singing on it.
Yeah,
maybe even a little better than With a Little Help from My Friends. I've always loved Octopus's Garden. Top notch for me. Number 9 for
Excellent.
Ringo.
Great.
Cool.
Nicely put, sir. Yeah. Number 9 for me is She Came In Through the Bathroom Window.
Okay.
I think, to my ears anyway, out of all the songs that were used for the medley, I think that this one is closer to maybe a complete song. It's a little bit more long.
Realized.
Realized it's got a couple of different verses. What happened? The story again, and then quitting the police department and all that stuff. And I just love the sound, everything about it, the melody of it. It's really good, and I think because it sounds to me more of a closer to a complete song than say the others, something like Polythene Pam or Mean Mr. Mustard. That's why I put it up above Mean Mr. Mustard. So that's what I have for 9. She came in through the bathroom window.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's go up there. Hold on, I'll get there. She came through the bathroom. All right, come on. There it is. All right. Sun King. Ringo's work with the bass drum. That's cool.
Good point. Yep.
Okay. Oh, Darling at number 9. You Never Give Me Your Money is 9. There you go, Matthew.
The bass drum again. Yeah. Absolutely good. Great.
So true, Day Tripper.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. Yeah, but good.
It's really a well done song.
Somebody beat me to it.
And the water sounds too. I'll beat you to that too. But I'll probably
yeah. SOB.
Oh yeah, love you underneath the guitar solos.
Yeah.
Definitely meant as a goodbye. Yeah, that's true. Doing that too, saying love you, right? Maybe I never thought of that to the fans, maybe. I don't know. I never thought of that. Octopus's Garden at number 9. Sun King. Triple tracked harmonies, awesome.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, try saying that these days. Oh boy. What do we got here? Came in through the bathroom window. Excellent, but you got to put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. All right.
Agreed.
Okay, folks. Now we're up to, we have 8 left here.
Yeah,
8.
8.
Cool.
So let's go to Matthew.
Okay, Joe. Well, let's continue your conversation, Joseph, because I've got She Came In Through the Bathroom Window at number 8 for me, just one notch higher than you. And there's not much I can say that you already said. It's a more realized song. It's only a few seconds here or there away from being a fully complete song, in my opinion. It's fabulous. I love this. And again, I hate to go back to that 05 tour. I think it was the 05 tour. He pulled this one out of the bag, and I was like, knocked my socks off. When She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, I just loved it. It's just fabulous tune. I gotta say, Paul really shines on this album. There's another Beatle that shines right up there as well, but Paul really, with his singing, with his songwriting, his playability, his bass play, Paul's just nailing it on this album. And this is just a great example of it. And again, going back to the guitar, I love the guitar sounds on this song, the whole album. But these individual songs have such a great, sonically perfect guitar sound. It's just wonderful. Number 8.
And I like the end. I was thinking of, oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, he had the end of, oh yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't sing it well. The end of She Came Through the Bathroom.
Yeah.
I can't sing. Are we doing card tricks next? Weather reports, whatever you want. I can't sing. What the hell am I singing for? No respect at all. All right, here we go. That's me. Am I next?
Tom.
I'm sorry.
Tom's number 8.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tom. Number 8.
Octopus's Garden. I agree with what you said, Matt, about Ringo's finest moment as a Beatle. Obviously, wrote the song. I mean, he had this one for a while, wasn't it, or was that?
Don't Pass Me By?
Was the one he had for a while? Okay,
I think it was Don't Pass Me By.
Yeah, Don't Pass Me By. I think George kind of helped him out with little bit
Mm-hmm.
As you said, the guitar playing on this one is great. The backing vocals. I mean, everything just comes together. No pun intended with this track. For Ringo, obviously they all loved Ringo and they all wanted to see his performances stand out. I think everybody stands out on this one, whether it's the backing vocals, the musicianship on this one, and everybody deserves credit on this one, especially Ringo. Really he does shine on this one. So good job, Ringo.
Yep.
Yeah, and I'll just mention too, when you were saying about if he had this one around for a while, he always tells that story about how he was not happy in the studio, like they all had their moment where they had to get out, and he went to Sardinia and wrote that song. Right. And then he tells that story so much, I won't repeat it, folks. You know the whole story by now, right? All right. Yeah, we have enough of that going around. Next, I'll tell you how Paul thought of yesterday.
Oh, don't worry. We got that coming next month with that TV show.
No. That's right. Right. Okay, number 8 for me. That's where I put Golden Slumbers, which I think is just beautiful. The vocals by Paul are so beautiful. Tom, you're the one who said that about it. You did. You sang it out. The way he sings that bit. I'm not going to do that. I'll spare you. The Thomas Dekker poem. That you got the words from. I love when that comes in, and it's perfectly placed too. Not that that's why I'm judging it, where I'm putting it, but that's one of the ingredients I like about it, where it's placed in the medley. So it's just a beautiful, gorgeous song at number 8 for me. All right, folks.
Nice.
Cool.
So let's go.
7.
Stop
no, I'm sorry.
Yet.
Looking at the
Polythene Pam.
Getting ahead of myself here.
Polythene Pam. We have another Polythene Pam. Agreed, Matthew. Number 8. She came in through the bathroom window. The bass is incredible.
Oh, Paul.
I even like where the hand claps are in that, by the way. It's perfectly placed. I should mention. Hey, whatever I can think of to add. You Never Give Me Your Money at number 8.
Great Paulie tune.
She came in through the bathroom window. Joe Cocker version is good too. Yeah,
I would agree. That's one of my favorite covers. I mean, there's a song where somebody takes it and he makes it his own, and Joe Cocker succeeded in that.
Number 8, Oh Darling, in doo-wop style, Paul's song. Okay, all right. Always one more here. I have it down here at the end. Golden Slumbers
for Oliver.
Good. Oliver. I got no problem with that at all.
All right, let's go to 7. Yeah, since you're so anxious, Tom, you're first. for number 7.
Yeah, I mean, this one, I was really moved. I was really, the first time I heard this was just really blown away by this, and that's "I Want You." She's so heavy. I remember really just having a strong feeling with this, and kind of like, oh my God, did I hear that correctly? Rewind it on the cassette, listen to it again. Like, yeah, this is amazing. And then, and I like that white noise at the end too. And it's kind of creepy though, and does it fit the song? Yeah, it kind of fits the song. I love, John's vocals I think are fun on there. And especially when he just lets that rip that, really rip. And then you kind of in the faint background, you hear somebody in the background going, "What?" Just saying something like, "Are you crazy? Why are you doing that?"
Almost sounds like a little distortion on that bit in his voice when he does that.
He just lets that rip, and my God, and we all know that John's one of the greatest rock and roll singers, if not the greatest of all time. And just with that scream was just mesmerizing, and I just played that song over and over and over again. And I think it was just such a kick-ass way to end a side, of an album or a cassette.
Oh, and how?
Yeah,
oh my God.
it was just really something.
Yeah. All right. So thank you very much. Number 7.
Let's keep the conversation going. For me, "I Want You" is my number 7.
Can we save it one more notch? All right, go ahead.
Tom nailed it here. I mean, this song, the lyrics are so simple, but simple is effective and better here. That's it. I'm glad it's not all these elaborate, crazy lyrics. It just wouldn't fit with this song. Simple is better. It just this song is so advanced, so complex, and that white noise with the one of the first uses of a synthesizer in a song. It's so easy to get into this song and just get entranced by it. It's just, to me, it's one of the greatest things they ever did as a band. And from what I understand, it's the final thing they did as a band, because I think this song was the last time all 4 Beatles worked in the studio all at once on a track. And wow, this is one of the greatest things they ever did as a band, and I love it. Number 7.
And then you got Billy Preston on there as well. I mean, and then we heard on the Abbey Road box set too.
Right. And you can hear him better on that box set.
Gotcha! Finally, gotcha.
You got me back. You got me back.
But man, what a great addition to that.
Yeah,
with Billy Preston playing on that track.
Never,
indeed.
Like you say, you could never hear him before, and now it's like
it's not
on that archive set.
Right.
All right. Number 7. Number 7 is where I placed my man Ringo for Octopus's Garden. Yeah, what a great job with that song all around. I have everything written down here that you guys already covered. The guitars are masterful. Ringo's very good on it. It's his between that and "Don't Pass Me By," I much prefer as a composition. Octopus's Garden. He had help from George, on it. What else can I say? I like the bubbling sounds, the water sounds.
Very cool. Very cool.
It's a fun Ringo song, and it's a delight on the album. Number 7. Okay. All right, folks, let's go back to the bits of time.
We've got to go back.
Wonder what she looked like. She came in through the bathroom window. That's a good question. Because
she was an apple scruff, I can tell you that.
That's right.
Wow.
Golden Slumbers at number 7. Good evening.
Only sleeping.
We have another Maxwell Silver Hammer. 17.
17.
Okay.
Wow.
I must have meant 7. Here's a Maxwell Silver Hammer.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Okay.
Cool.
He already said hello to you, Darren Gamble. Hello again, Darren. Number 7, Because. Beautiful John song, Jazzy Jimmy says. Chords are Moonlight Sonata played in reverse. Great 9-part harmony.
Yeah.
I thought it was 6. It could be 9. Yeah, I don't know.
I Want You, She's So Heavy. Many musicians are influenced by this song. Yeah, I'm always hearing compliments on the bass at any rate on that song.
Yep.
All right, so now we go to number 6, and I'll start this time.
Sure,
Only because I
Change of
figured, you know
pace.
what? You know why? Only because it's "I Want You, She's So Heavy," and I figured it's still kind of fresh.
Keep it going. Keep it going.
That's the reason I put it at number 6. I could tell you the first time I heard this. I tell this story from time to time. I have headphones. I'm listening with headphones for the first time, and loud. And that stuff at the end, that the white noise, the wind effect.
And the synthesizer. Yeah,
you got, you know, the last thing I expected, I'm sure most people expected with those headphones, was for it to just jarringly stop.
Right.
Yeah.
And I almost jumped out of my skin. I was in my bed, and it was nighttime. It was dark. It just was a shock. It almost stopped my heart. And even now, I try to listen for which one I know. It's that great, that build up with the so which one is it going to be that it's going to go da da da? Still packs a little jolt. And Tom, you mentioned, of course, the 50th anniversary edition. There's an outtake, unused, I guess, of it. "I Want You," with Billy Preston going to town on that organ.
Yeah.
At the end, just swirling it all over the place. And I remember that's my favorite thing on that whole thing, as far as the bonus materials go of the 50th anniversary. I love that. I said, what would that have been like if they had brought that up, really let that go berserk with everything else in there, more louder. I really wish it had been used that way, but I love that.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I would imagine with the egos of John Paul and probably George as well. I mean, you can't. Can you really let somebody outshine you on your recording?
No. Ego-wise, no. But I just mean if it could have been. I would have liked it. Not that I would expect them to do it.
Right.
I wouldn't expect.
I mean, I can see George, giving it to Clapton here. I don't care if you outshine me because it works for the song. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you got that on "While My Guitar Gently Weeps."
Right.
Clapton outshining
exactly.
George on it. But then again, this is mostly John. Maybe it's a John thing more.
Right.
It's John's song.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Until Paul claims that he helped write it or something. That hasn't happened yet, folks.
I helped them with this part.
I came up with the "She's So Heavy" part.
They think that John's the one that's really this outrageous one all the time with the wind effects and things. And no, that was me.
And please, no one come up with something that says, in 1967, Vanilla Fudge did a song that John took from. I
don't want to hear where he got it from, because
I don't want to hear it.
I know by now very little is his idea.
Enough.
So, yes, I'm kidding, folks. I love John. I'm just saying, come on, let's be honest. People say, I love how they say sometimes you don't criticize enough. You go both ways. They pull you this way with this arm. You don't criticize your heroes enough. What kind of fan are you? You're criticizing your heroes.
Yeah, that's the
I mean, come on.
Anyway.
So now we're going to go over to Matthew for number 6.
We're down to 6. Okay, this is where I put "Because." And let me just say, wow, that someone's kind of corrected me here, and I think they're right. I think I have the numbers wrong. That 9-part harmony, we get the 3 Beatles times
3.
3. I'm terrible at math, folks. No, when they overlay those vocals like that, I think it's some of the best, not just for the Beatles, ever. The best harmony or blending of vocals I think I've ever heard. And the only thing, I don't mean to be a mega fanboy here, but it had to be divine intervention when those 3 voices came together in that little seaport town in Liverpool. How that happened, it had to be divine, because where clearer can you hear the beauty of those 3 voices blending together than on "Because"? I mean, where? It's just perfection in my opinion.
The bunch. I mean, even though it was beautiful in that regard, so was "This Boy."
This Boy.
It's the results of hours and hours and hours of honing your craft. I mean, those hours they spent in Hamburg were so important to this band.
Good point. No, so anyway, that's my number 6, but it's one of the most beautiful things ever written or recorded, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is lovely.
It is. I agree with you, Matt. I agree with you 100%.
All right, Thomas, what do you have for number 6?
Oh boy. Oh darling. Number 6. Just the most some of the most powerful, rawest vocals you'll hear from Paul ever. The amount it took for him to finally be satisfied to get that voice back to that Little Richard style vocal approach, I guess, that he wanted for that. And it's that is what shines about this song, is the vocals. I mean, musically, I don't think it's much to go write to mom about, but it really is that vocal approach that he took for this song that is key, and I think that's what makes this song shine, in my opinion.
All right, so that takes us through number 6. Let's go backwards here. Okay, Something at number 6. Great bass, always loved Patty. Yeah, Something written probably inspired by Patty. Golden Slumbers at number 6 for Sarah. Let's see. I Want You, leaning towards Prague in a way.
Okay.
Oh Darling at number 6. I don't think John could have gave a better vocal. I agree, and that's in my notes. I agree, and that's in my notes. Don't think, I was going to save it, but sometimes, Sun King at number 6. I Want You, like nothing I've heard before or since. We got Because at number 6. We've got I Want You. What a rocker. Me too, Joe. When it stopped abruptly, I jumped out of my skin. Yeah, and as Grandpa Munster once said, and you know how hard it is to get back into it. Your skin.
For all you Munster fans out there.
Oops, I'll talk about that later. Something, John's favorite song on the album. Yes, this is true. I remember hearing that. Oh, Ringo's great on there. Oh, Darling is drumming.
Yeah, and that that guitar bit too on the on Oh Darling too, while he's screaming at the top of his lungs is fun.
Matt the Philosopher.
Yeah, okay. The Philosopher.
Octopus's Garden. Maxwell Silverhammer made all the way to number 6 for Bradley Hughes. Okay, folks. We got the top 5. We got the top 5.
Wow.
Let's put the pressure on Tom first. Tom, what do you got for number 5?
You flip the album over after this incredible what the hell did I just listen to on side 1, and then you just go into this most beautiful acoustic guitar lead into a song that is just growing up in Michigan, long winters, snow left and right, and then you just you pop this song in during the springtime, you get the sun shining out. It's just it's a gorgeous song, no matter what day it is, what part of the year it is. George is, shines like nothing on this album with these 2 songs. Probably my 2 songs that he does on any album, period. And vocally is great. Ringo's drumming is great. I know Ringo talks about this, the drumming on this, on the Living in the Material World. I forgot exactly how he put it, 7 or 8. I mean, with timing on the drums. But it's perfect. The sun, here it comes is really great. The backing vocals with Paul and John are just, it's just like, you get chills when you listen to certain songs, and this is, I think, one of those songs, especially, as it's getting towards the middle of the song. Once the song gets going, it's just one of those that the hair stands up on your neck and your arms, and goosebumps, and just great stuff.
So tell us how you really feel about it.
Well,
you like it?
Give me 20 more minutes.
Yeah. All right, Matt, what say you for number 5?
My number 5 is Golden Slumbers. A beautiful, beautiful song. It's just, the melody is good on this song. The lyrics are great on this song. The vibe, and I love the way it builds so well. How Paul starts so tenderly, and he and it builds to that crescendo. It's just Paul's voice on this song, and I'm going to mention Paul on another song coming up where he I've never heard a voice that could do what it does. The gymnastics his voice can do, from so tender,
like that.
soft, and loving, all the way up to a screaming ballsy rock and roll. He could be one of the greatest vocalists in modern rock and roll history.
I'm going to steal that if you don't mind.
Steal it. Take it. What are you stealing? Yeah. I don't know what I said.
The phrase, the gymnastics of his vocal. I mean, oh my God, I love that.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. It's Paul's just perfection here. Golden Slumbers, number 5.
Okay.
Cool.
Now for the back of the top 5 for me, I decided to go with "You Never Give Me Your Money" as number 5.
Oh, okay.
I like the different changes, like we just talked about, in Paul's vocals. That part that he does in the middle, "Out of college, money spent," that thing that he does, and I love, the actual music itself. Has this different segments, tempos. It changes. There's different moods to it. That magic feeling part. I just like the way the song goes up and then changes to different places. It goes to different areas, and Paul sings them all so wonderfully. And that's why it's number 5 for me. You never give me your money.
Nice.
And you don't give me anything. No money. I still hear my echo.
Well, you better save your money for what's coming down the pipe.
Oh yeah, somebody asked about that. By the way,
congratulations! By the way, Matthew Street. I mean, that was for a great honor for receiving that. Wonderful.
I'm so special. The
Beatles, nobody knows that. Yeah,
I thought so highly of me that they sent me that crate. Thank you.
Yeah, the Harrison Estate had sent it.
The Harrison Estate thought of me.
I'm jealous. I'm so jealous of that.
So jealous of.
Watch his video. Huh? Watch the video. We'll talk about that. Let's remind me at the end.
Yeah. In the end.
I'm losing it. I'm getting old. I'm losing it.
I hope the sound's okay, folks, because I hear a lot of my echo. Because number 5, Here Comes the Sun at number 5. Oh, Darling at number 5. Polythene Pam all the way up for Oliver to number 5. Tom, if you don't like the song, just say LOL.
All right, Beans. I'll do my best.
You never give me your money. The song that ties the whole medley together. Exactly. Here Comes the Sun makes for a beautiful morning. Oh, darling. Took him weeks to lay down the vocal. Ringo's best. Octopus's Garden. Thank you very much. Only sleeping.
Yeah.
All right.
Is he?
Just about. Number 4. Let's start with Matthew for number 4.
Oh, this was tough because I probably should have put this song higher. I put "Oh Darling" at number 4, and I almost put it up another notch or two because, again, going back to Paul's vocals, this is one of Paul's greatest vocal moments ever on tape, as far as I'm concerned. It's bluesy, it's cool, it's just a bluesy, cool rockin' tune, and the piano flows and rocks in it so well. I love "Oh Darling." I love Paul's vocals. What more can I say about it? It's number 4.
Oh, that was fast, short, and sweet. And
sweet one.
I'm going to bounce over to me for this one because I'm putting "Oh Darling" also at number 4.
Oh, okay.
And sort of what you said, I could damn near put it number 1 these days.
Wow.
If I'm going just by what I really, really love the most, which is what you're supposed to be doing, what we're supposed to be doing.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fresh, but I had to work with a few components this time. Sometimes the formula is different, folks, when you're trying to figure these things out. But back to "Oh Darling." Look, today in the car, I played this CD, the 50th anniversary one. Now, for me personally, of all the versions of the album that Giles Martin working on it and so forth, all the songs that I like, all the versions, "Oh Darling" is the one I like the best. That's my favorite track change on there, and the reason is those harmonies, the doo-wop feel.
Right.
I never see like Tom. The strength of the song is Paul's vocals and how he managed to get to those peaks, those heights. And sound so raw like that. It's one of his greatest of all vocal performances in my book, period. One of the greatest song performances singing he's ever done. But the doo-wops, even though I heard this hundreds of times, this song, until that new version came out, I never really thought of it like that doo-woppy sound. It's almost like I could see like almost like girls going like, ah, like on his backstage, like, you know, like the Lenny and the Squeak Tones or something, like on the Laverne and Shirley. If anybody remembers Laverne and Shirley, Lenny and the Squeak Tones, I think they were called. And Squeaky got up there and he was doing this like stuff and like joining in. It's like it's like a girl group thing. I absolutely love that song more than I ever have, thanks to the 50th anniversary. Cool. And as for John Lennon, that John said was more his style of singing than Paul's. Look, John, come on, man. No, Paul nailed this. I love John on Twist and Shout and Money and Bad Boy and Dizzy Miss Lizzy, Slow Down, all the rest of it. But no, nobody could sing this like Paul. Nobody.
Right. I can't picture anyone but Paul singing this.
That's it. So there you go. Now we'll go over to you, Tom, for your number 4 choice.
John's greatest contribution to this album, "Come Together," is my number 4. It's powerful. It's everything. I think somebody said before, Paul's bass playing throughout this is excellent. I love the what the hell is he saying? Here come a flat top. He come what? Grooving what?
Right,
So this is as I'm discovering this album and listening to John. I mean, again, this was a song that you just kept rewinding and listening over and over and over again, or picking the needle up and starting the album over again.
Well, Chuck Berry will tell you what he said. What you said.
Well, right. But love the way it opens. And Ringo's drumming there. I mean, everything just works great. Everything just came together for this song, no pun intended, and it's great achievement for the band, I think.
Well, this quote here, I'm sorry. Well, John was out of his mind, in my opinion. With that quote, and equally out of his mind, saying that he didn't like his own performances, and that's what the artists do. They're very nitpicky.
Right.
I'm sorry if I wanted to interject that in there. So okay. So we're done with number
top 3.
Oh no, 3. I'm sorry. Oh, there's a reason I said that. Don't worry.
No.
Okay, 3. Sorry. All right. Now you're up for number 3.
No. I said we're up to the top 3.
Oh, we're up to the top 3. Oh, I'm doing something wrong. I got a pen here for a reason, folks. Okay, we're up to the top 3. All right. So let's start with this one with me.
All right.
Okay. Come Together, I have at number 3. Is everything right? Did I do everything right, folks? This is live. We're supposed to go back and look at the 4s?
Yeah, go back and look.
I don't know. Did we do the 4s?
No, we didn't. Go back and look at the 4s.
I'm sorry. Let's do this. Yeah. You know already what I'm picking. Number 4, The End. What an end, brother. Come Together, number 4.
Great.
Octopus's Garden, number 4.
Wow.
High praise.
That's good. Golden Slumbers. Number 4. It's like it's The End at number 4.
No problem with that either.
Ambrosia version is good as well. And by the way, I've heard Mickey Dolenz do a live version of "Oh Darling." That's pretty cool too. Yeah, top 4 is interchangeable.
That's
really,
a good
really.
Point. Yeah, it is. It could be.
Okay. Okay, jumped ahead. Okay, let me see what else we got here. I tend to. It just wouldn't. Be, I tend to agree, but I don't know if it's range or something else. All right, so now we can go back to. Let's put number 3. Okay, I'll just put this in here. Blues Structures, and I want you the wind guitar riffs. All right, I was saying number 3. I put Come Together, number 3. All right, and now there's an example where you talk about songs that are like played to death. I mean, I'll turn on the Beatles channel when I have it for free, and once I hear that beginning, it's like, oh, it goes right off.
Yeah.
The fatigue factor, huh?
Don't want to hear it all the time, but today I said I'm going to listen to the album in preparation. I haven't played the album. I haven't played Abbey Road since the 50th anniversary. Oh, it's been 2 years. I don't play these things every day. Right. And now when you're in the mindset, you want it. Next thing you know, I'll be making videos bashing all of this stuff, right? Like, so, But what am I trying to say here? When I first heard the album as a teenager, that song blew me away, and it was my favorite song. And really, for many years, that's my favorite song on the album, "Come Together." But the fatigue factor has set in a little bit for me to take it down to 3. But there's no way I can't put it in the top 3. I love it. I just think it's so cool.
Yeah.
And again, it's got that kind of vibe that makes me think like the Beatles, not just singing "P.S. I love you" all the time, or "I want to hold your hand." I just think it's so damn cool. Like I said, despite the fatigue, it's high up there for me.
You had to give it its due,
Yeah,
I had to, and when I heard it today, I really enjoyed it more than I have in a long time. Okay, so now I went first on that one. So now we're gonna go to Matt for number 3.
Well, let's keep the ball rolling because I have Come Together at number 3 as well, and a lot of the similar things you said. I mean, this does have fatigue factor over the last couple of decades for me, but when it comes right down to it, I had to think back to when I first heard this album in the early 70s when I was a young kid, like 12 or 13, whatever I was, and I had never heard anything like this song.
Right.
I mean, picture the first time you heard this. I just never heard anything like it. It was just so cool sounding, that funky groove, just so smooth, and just what a great John Lennon song. And just I got to give it its due. I'm like you, Joe. When it comes on the Beatles channel, I'm like, over to another channel.
On regular radio too.
Regular radio,
in my neck of the woods, that's one of the 2 or 3 songs they play of the Beatles.
Classic rock radio in New England is the same way. You hear "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" and "Come Together" is one of the other ones you hear all the time. That's about it. But I got to give it its due. When you strip all that stuff away and fatigue and all that, it's an outstanding, unique track that one of the best they ever did as a band, and I gave it number 3.
I love Ringo's drumming on it. I love Paul's in the background, singing. I love that. I love everything about it. All right, Tom, what do you got for number 3?
Well, there are a lot of reasons why I love "She Came In Through the Bathroom Window," and it's not just because Paul. There's other reasons. One, Ringo's fills in between, the verses is one of the factors on this song that I love so much. The story Paul tells, that I like how it ends the whole trilogy or the medley, if you want. I think it's a great ending to the whole piece. Paul singing is phenomenal. The guitar playing, I think, is tight on the album. This is about as tight as the dog barking too. A perfect timing. But yeah, it's great. I mean, it is kind of almost, it is a true story. Someone did go through Paul's bathroom window while Paul and Linda were gone out on vacation or something like that. Someone did break in, and our friend Sarah Schmidt, who's an author who's very well known in the Beatles world, wrote about that. I mean, it's an Apple Scruff that actually broke in, got a ladder and went in. So it's a really cool story. I like how he added that to the song. And again, I mentioned earlier about the Joe Cocker version, which I think is one of the greatest covers of a Beatles song ever, because he made it his own. It feels like an original song when Joe Cocker sings his version of "She Came In Through the Bathroom Window." But again, I just think, with that said, and the next song I have, I think Paul really, he does shine on this album. I think he just comes through so brilliantly on this album, where you almost think that this is his album again, in the kind of a way you think Sgt. Pepper. That's how I feel.
I know. Part of the fun is, was just having little friendly disagreements. Exactly. I respect your
good points. Good points.
But let's go now to number people comments. I got it.
Yeah,
3.
Keep you on the right path sometimes, guys, because doing all of this.
We're done with 3 now. Yeah.
Okay. The end for Sarah is number 3. I Want You is number 3. Did you hear that Paul was very disappointed that he wasn't able to sing harmony on the "Come Together" bit? I didn't know that.
I'm sure that was one of his many suggestions to John, where he's just like, "No, Paul, not going to happen."
How do you like this one? This one, Octopus's Garden, is the only Beatles song I can say I like. So number one.
Okay.
What?
Because
and why are you
Rock
here?
and Roll Rebel watches my channel.
Is that
he
to
doesn't
be
like the
taken
Beatles,
serious?
So. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Yeah, Mickey Dolenz Kills, Oh Darling. Yeah, so I'm doing it at the Fest for Beatles fans, 2012, just before I started my channel. Otherwise, I could have recorded it. Oh, you're kidding me. Look. I like Robin Gibb does a version of Oh Darling.
Yeah, it's on the
Yeah,
Sergeant
and
Pepper
Sgt.
Lonely Hearts
Pepper.
Oh, right.
movie soundtrack.
I've
Yeah.
never played it all the way through, but I tell you, I like Barry Gibb. I mean, I like the Bee Gees, but Robin Gibb, I have a little trouble with. Tell you the truth. Carry that weight. Oh, I forgot about Tom will never listen to Mickey Dolenz.
Thanks, Beans.
As I'm saying all of this, I'm forgetting that. I'm not even thinking that. You reminded me, Beans. Something. Paul plays bass even better on the other guy's songs.
Again, another reason
and
why
lead guitar better.
Well, yeah.
Not drums. But anyway, Wild Electric Piano on Come Together. Come Together, awesome. Golden Slumbers at number 3. How Paul came up with that melody, I will never know.
Right.
All right, let's go. Oh Darling. There you go. Great choice, Tom, at the window. Let's see. I can't. I got to keep going here. I don't want to. The Rock and Roll Rebel is not a troll. He's been around for a long time here. As far as I know, he's not. Vivian joins us for the end 3-way guitar solo, the highlight of the album for her, and Ringo's drum solo. Yeah, that's the thing about that track. The end, they're all operating on all the musical cylinders for their instruments.
Yep.
That's pretty good. All right, so that leaves us with 2 songs.
2 left.
We're going to start with Matthew Street for number 2.
Well, number 2, it's an instant classic. Something I put it in number 2. It's just I remember being a little kid down in my parents' basement. We had one of those little cheesy toy drum sets, and I used to put this on. You think I'd put on one of the other songs on this album, but I always put on something. And when I got to the part, our love will grow. I don't know. And it's really gets intense.
Yeah.
I just remember I couldn't play drums, but I just remember bashing on the toy drum kit when I was a young kid, like 9 years old, just bashing. I just Frank Sinatra loved this song, for goodness sake. I mean, he thought John and Paul wrote it. Whatever. But it's just it's a classic song, and despite fatigue factor and whatnot, you got to give it its due. You got to give George his due. This is where George reached his zenith in the Beatles on this album, and something number 2.
Well said. Tom, what do you have for number 2?
When I hear this piano bit, when I hear the piano bit, it's another of those hair-raising moments to start the album. You Never Give Me Your Money. It's just a very moving song, kind of, told in real life with the issues with Alan Klein, with the whole money, part of it. Paul's vocals, it's just blow you away on this track. And in a way, it's almost kind of like a medley within a medley in a way, because, you've got 3 bits to this song. And, the whole You Never Give Me Your Money is some of his most perfect singing, I think, ever on any record. The whole Sweet Dream. And then, in the middle, One Sweet Dream, pick up the bags, get in a limousine, and then the ending part. I mean, it's just I think it's a perfect song. One of my favorite Beatles songs of all time.
Wow.
Love it. Yeah.
No,
good praise. Good praise.
Yeah. Nicely said. And I agree with you about Paul's vocals.
Yeah.
Some of the best. Okay. And also, Tom, earlier a little while ago when I was saying, just having playful banter, and I was saying, oh no, it's not Paul's.
I know, I get you. Don't worry.
I say that because for me, I mean, I'll give George his due. I know you are too, but to me, this is George's baby, because the 2 songs, my number 1 and 2 are George songs. And this is when he was really coming into his own big time. I mean, really. I mean, I say from 68, really. 67 even, but 68, 69, 70. He was exploding. He could have done the whole album.
Well, he had the songs. I mean, obviously they didn't want to work on the other two.
This
didn't
is
really
true.
care for him.
Right.
I mean, Paul during that meeting in September of '69, where John, Paul, and George are in there and they're taping it for Ringo. Paul even says, "Look, up until now, I thought your stuff was crap." He literally says that. Well, George, he's talking to John, and George is right there. You know what I mean? So, and man, okay, now here's George just coming in and saying, "Okay, you think my shit's crap? Here, take these two songs."
Right.
What do you think?
Yeah, that's why Paul is fantastic on this album.
Right.
I agree with you, but just because of George, I guess blossoming, like just blossoming, exploding, whatever you want to say, flourishing.
Then a year later, George had diarrhea and put out one of the greatest albums ever.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and all bound up.
Watch Matthew Street's video.
I shouldn't use bathroom terms, right?
But I don't know
you gave new meaning to the word bathroom humor, my friend.
Did I say the song? I said George about. Did I say the song? I don't know, but I said if I didn't, something.
No, something.
And again, you want to talk about? Look, it's a classic love song. It's one of the greatest songs ever written. Sinatra nailed it, except for attributing it to John and Paul instead of George. There's nothing that can be said about this. The only thing is, I'm most of the time tired of hearing it. I'll be honest with you, but fatigue factor or not, in this case, I ain't gonna make it number 13.
Right.
In this case, I mean, it's such a classic, and I remember when I first heard it. It might have been on the Love Songs album. When I first got the Love Songs compilation, I'd play that over and over and over. That's just before I was listening to Abbey Road in '77. I was listening to Love Songs, and I'm like, this is absolutely amazing, this song. And I was only like 15, but it was like so great that I don't know part.
It gets so intense.
You wonder, sometimes a song gets better and better the more you hear it. You never tire of it, which happens a lot.
Right.
Other times you never get back to that first high when you first
right.
You're always chasing it, but
it's chasing that cherry high.
Chasing that high.
I don't know anything about that, but I heard of like heroin. He said that's what I'm referring to, folks.
He was an all-time high right there.
That's what I've heard. So I think we all covered number 2. Am I correct?
Yeah, we did.
So let's go back. Usually Matthew Smith has been my guide here, but now we got Sarah's number 2 first here. Let's see. Come Together. Only Sleeping George 1 and 2. Here Comes the Sun at number 2. This is Abbey Road for me.
Right.
Come Together. No matter how many times I hear that intro, I still get excited. Yeah, it's a great intro, man.
Unless Aerosmith is doing it, and then I
don't mind them doing it. But Tom, in that case, that's an example where they don't really bring much different to it, right?
Right.
Did you say?
I mean, that was one of the better moments in that movie, the Frampton Pepper movie, when Aerosmith.
Right.
I'm with you, Diego. Happiest, just classic song. Yeah. I'm with you. Something. Oh, I'm starting to think lately the fact that he got that from the James Taylor song. Something.
The opening line. I was just going to bring that up.
I'll let it go. If just the thought of that by himself, it would have been even better.
Right.
Well, he had a good teacher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I like James Taylor.
No, John was nicking.
Nicking. I always have the excuse that I'm frantically searching comments so I can't follow. Let's see, where are we at here? Pure Gold. Okay, Marcus. Neither song has John on it, correct? Something or Here Comes the Sun. He's not on Here Comes the Sun. Am I
not
correct?
sure.
No, I'm not sure about Something though.
Yeah, and here's the thing about this video we keep talking about. I saw the thumbnail, and I absolutely
crap. Well, he did.
I got a lot of crap.
The Harrison estate took care of. You gotta watch his video. Go over to Matthew Street's channel after this. Watch his video. He was blessed by the Harrison estate, who gave him a copy of this
Yes.
box.
I got a wooden crate.
And I bounced through. I was at work, so I bounced through it, and I got the gist of it, but I haven't watched it in full. I'm going to watch it with Mrs. Mayo.
Oh no, Mrs. Mayo
on the big 55-inch TV.
Oh, Mrs.
So
Mayo,
anyway,
hate me.
John is not on Here Comes the Sun at all. Correct, right?
That's the one. Okay.
I Want You, She's So Heavy for Vivian Lund. That's number
Frantic,
2.
awesome, hypnotic. Yeah.
I love like different songs being number 1 or 2. Stephanie has something. Is Christian's top 3.
Christian, nice picks.
Come Together, number 1 easily, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Oh Darling. Beatles, The End blows away towards the end.
Towards the end,
My friend, the end.
I agree with that one.
Okay, I thought Lennon played piano on something, but they didn't use it.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, so now we go to number 1, and we're going to start with Tom for number 1.
As you say, George just is, for me, Something is the best song on this album. I am a ballad junkie. I love a good ballad, and George delivers on all fronts with this guitar playing, singing, lyrics. The middle 8, and is excellent. I don't know, all that part, everything about the song just works perfectly. Paul's bass playing, is terrific. Another thing about the song is I love covers of this song. I'm not the biggest covers fan, but for this song, there's a lot of people that have covered this song wonderfully, including like Joe Cocker and Isaac Hayes and others. Isaac Hayes does an amazing 10-minute version of this song that should be recognized. But Something, it's beautiful, and the video that goes along with it, I really love the collage of images, to go along with this song. Too bad it wasn't number 1. I don't think it was number 1 in the UK, or was it? But anyways, it should have been a little bit more successful single wise. But this song is top notch for me, my favorite. And I kind of I feel like it's always been my favorite song on this album. I've never been convinced that George shined on this album, because I mean, if you really just listen, you're gonna hear it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Okay, Matthew, how about you? Number 1?
Well, when I was in high school, we had a senior night, my senior year, and that's like the night before graduation, where all the kids are there with all your parents and families, and they do different things. And they showed a video, and this is in the late 70s. So, putting like a video collage together was like a difficult thing. And out of the blue, they start doing this collage of all these scenes and during our school career, during high school. And the song they put behind it, which blew me away because I didn't expect it, was Here Comes the Sun. I didn't expect it, because back then in the late 70s, a lot of the kids I went to high school with, there weren't too many Beatle fanatics like me. Like, I was one of like a handful of, most of the kids were into the modern rock and roll and classic rock of that era, the new wave and punk and what was coming up. But I was the Beatle freak, and there was only a handful of others. And for the class to pick that song at that moment, at the end of my high school career, it just blew me away. There were people in the crowd that night, crying as they're watching the scenes of high school, and the Beatles are playing. Here Comes the Sun. It's just a moment that I'll never forget. And I just think it's George's probably best moment with the Beatles. I think it's probably one of my favorite top 10 Beatles songs ever, of all Beatles songs. It's definitely somewhere in the top 10. Everything about it is perfection. The melody, the music, the vocals, the lyrics. It's just stunning. I don't know much more to say about it. Here Comes the Sun is my number 1 by far.
Wow. Well,
great.
I this is what I said this every now and then on other videos. It's good to go last in a case like this, because I don't have to go through all that. Because I picked also Here Comes the Sun as number 1.
Oh, nice.
It's such a classic, and there's not much I can add to it. And I will say that it's the number 1. I think they say it's the number 1 streamed Beatles song.
Oh,
exactly.
is it? Oh, wow.
That beats Lennon and McCartney even. As it's very accessible to people. I mean, everybody wants to feel good, a nice sunny day, and feel optimistic and happy. Boy, that really brings me up. Now that's a song. Anytime I happen to catch that, I'm glad I turn it up.
Right. Right.
I'm not. I don't say, "Oh, this again." Necessarily. I really love it. Everything about it. The backing harmonies and stuff on there. I'm glad the lead solo wasn't used. You ever hear the lead solo? There's a video where there was going to be a lead solo or something, I think. But that could be just a matter of what I'm accustomed to hearing. I don't know.
Right.
Or not. I'm glad they didn't use that. Yeah. Although I'm fatigued in a way on the song, like so many, no, I can never get enough of "Here Comes the Sun," and I got to give it to George for this. Give him a chance. Where I say I say it's his album in a way, but that's not really fair. I mean, it's more Paul and George,
Yeah.
with a great song offering from Ringo too.
Right.
And John will come together. John, look, John. It's not. I wouldn't say it's John's best stuff of all time on it, but it's George and then Paul.
Right.
I think.
I love how George and Giles did what they did with it on the Love album, where you just get that love, really soft, at the beginning. I think that was pretty powerful how they did that. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it. Let's go and look at some comments for number one here, folks. Oh man. Up. You have a channel, Tom?
Yes, I do.
2 legs.
two legs of Paul McCartney. The number 2, and then followed by Legs, a Paul McCartney podcast is the name of my channel. Yep.
Oh, I criticized George's guitar solos in the past too much for me to get a crate from Olivia. I was going to make a funny comment about that, but I was thinking of a joke about what they better come along with that crate. I'm going to pay $1,000. Here Comes the Sun. It's always sounds so good to me, so uplifting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, the Aerosmith come together. Yeah, it's okay. I don't mind it. It's okay. I like it. But
like I said earlier, best part of the movie. Other than that, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, thanks, Only Sleeping. Appreciate it.
Number one, you never give me your money.
I really struggled between those two. You never give me your money and something, but something is just so beautiful in my opinion. I mean, it's just it's hard to deny that song. What George did, whatever. Said it all before.
2 in a row. There you go. Matthew Smith, You Never Give Me Your Money, number 1.
Wow.
Make it 3. Gideon, You Never Give Me Your Money.
Great. I love thank you guys.
Man, where's Andy Nichols? It's got to be number 1. I Want You, She's So Heavy.
What Andy has there.
Maxwell Silver Hammer. This is no joke. This is my favorite Beatles song of all time. Incredibly underrated and genius to me. I could write an entire essay on why I love it, but I'll spare you. Well, that'll be interesting. That's a book. Something. The video is beautiful. Yeah, great,
absolutely.
Video. James Brown does a good Something cover.
I never heard that one.
Yeah, well, I think that was George's favorite because it was just so different.
Yeah, I love the story of Here Comes the Sun too. How George was like
in the garden.
He left the studio and there's all this garbage, going business and all this garbage, and then it was just a sunny day and he just felt like all the tension and it was released, and he just like welcomed the Here Comes the Sun feeling. Inspired to write the song. That's so perfect. Shirley Bassey.
Yeah, a lot of great covers of that song.
Give Me Shelter over anything on Abbey Road, especially live with Mick Taylor.
Okay, Keith. Well, I mean,
funny.
You're Keith Richards. That's your opinion.
Right. You have to respect that from you.
Right.
Keith.
Exactly.
Keith, how are you still alive? Answer that question. But anyway,
what is your meaning of life? How do you stay alive?
What it's all about.
Give me some more Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
There you go. George surpasses the two masters.
Yeah, possibly.
John plays piano on Something.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to get to the bottom here. Oh my! The lead lost solo is terrible. Yeah, I don't like it either. Number 1, Here Comes the Sun. Come Together, #1, one of John's best simple song, standout. Sheer brilliance. I'm looking, look.
Steve.
Looking, folks. Are you going to talk about the Abbey Road album cover? Well, what is there to say? It's simple but highly iconic.
One of their best covers ever.
I love the cover. I do. But they should be walking the other direction, shouldn't they? They're walking away from Abbey Road instead of to Abbey Road.
Well, it ties in
their
from
last album. They're leaving.
Last album, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know if that was the idea, but it's certainly a great idea.
We're done. We're done. We're leaving.
Solo.
That's it. I like that a lot, actually. I forgot, I changed my mind right there, folks. Right. Come Together. There you go. Bass line, vocals, all perfect. I prefer rock to George's ballads. Well, so do I, generally speaking. All right. Here Comes the Sun is not a ballad. All right, folks. And lastly, love the remix of Abbey Road. So there we go. There you have it.
There you have it.
Okay. Wow. And this was
that was good. That was tough. It was tough, but it was fun.
Thank you, Tom Hunyadi, for joining us here.
Thank you for having me, guys. This is a wonderful show. You guys are doing great work. And
definitely have to come back for some solo stuff.
Would love it. I love it.
Yeah, some Paul stuff. Well, you already did something. You already did. Talk a little bit about your endeavors.
Yeah, thank you. Two Legs of Paul McCartney podcast started in 2016 with my cousin. He left the show, but I since have reached out to Andy Nichols, and he joined me in 2019, and we've been running ever since. And he's been a great addition. He's got us on so many other different podcasting outlets. And our last episode we just released yesterday, Saturday, and it's called Women and Wives, and it's part 1 of our series of a look at all the women and wives in McCartney's life. And we had a wonderful co-host named Natalia Cardenas, and she hosts a brand new show called She Loves You, which is all about the Beatles women in their lives. So her first 2 shows, I think, were Cynthia Lennon and Patty Boyd. So that's the show to be a lookout. Our next 2 shows I'm really excited about. We just recorded a new one today for next Saturday, and we took all the main canon albums and we described it in one word. It could be, the description could be what our thoughts were on the album, the story around the album, our thoughts, about the album. So one word. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to have this guy named Matthew Street on the show. Really looking forward to it. We're going to be talking about our favorite, our top, not necessarily our top 5, but just 5 of our favorite McCartney lyrics. It could be the whole song. It could be a couple lines in the song. So we're going to be talking McCartney lyrics with the one and only Matthew Street. I'm looking forward to that. And that's going to be.
We're taping a week from now, correct?
Yeah.
That ties into this.
And it'll be posted in 2 weeks.
Right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, okay, yeah.
I
was waiting for this. When you guys doing Let It Be? Well, right now we're going to skip next Sunday. We're not going to be here next Sunday to do it. What we're thinking of, the date we have on right now scheduled is the following Sunday after that. I believe it's the 27th.
7th, yeah.
And we're going to have another special guest on here.
That's going to
be great.
Yeah. First time this guest is going to be on the show. Wow. So we've had people before, and Tom twice, and so on. But this is going to be your first time. So special guest for Let It Be.
That's going to be exciting.
And Matthew, please tell us what you're doing lately in your videos and so forth.
As many Beatles and solo Beatles stuff as I can get up there. I also do other music, power pop bands that I love, and we just did an interview with a young guy on Gem Records, power pop guy called Jonathan Pushkar, who's a big Beatles guy, and did an interview on the Matt and Steve show with him. We got another. Gem Records is releasing a Gem Records Celebrates Brian Wilson album coming out in July, similar to the one they did last year with John Lennon, celebrating John Lennon. And this one will be Brian Wilson. We'll be interviewing some of the people who are on that album on the Matt and Steve show. That's with Steve Schnee, my partner on that. And that's about it, folks. Please, stop by my channel if you feel the urge and check it out. And a lot of Beatles, but there's also some other stuff over there.
Mick, can I ask you a question real quick? Do you find a lot of power pop musicians Beatle fans? I mean,
absolutely.
It seems like a lot of them are huge Beatle fans.
And whenever you talk to them or read interviews with them, that one of the first things they mention is the Beatles, and being impacted so intensely by the music of the Beatles. And then they veer off from there, and they have their other influences that formulate their various sounds. But the Beatles are like the originators of that whole
power pop genre,
the whole nucleus of it, and then it explodes from there. Yeah,
cool.
Well, Sarah, the thing is, we do not intend to compare Let It Be as the original release with Let It Be Naked. However, I'm sure that during us discussing the songs on the original Let It Be, we're probably going to be thinking and comparing maybe once in a while some of the versions that are on Let It Be Naked. But that's a good idea for a future show, because I can't stress enough as I do that we're not going to just stick with ranking shows. We're going to finish off Let It Be. Then we're probably going to do Past Masters 2.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking we'll take a break, right? Matt, we could do some other discussion.
Yeah, sure. That'd be fun. Take a little break and then get heavily into the solo stuff. Yeah.
Because we don't need to. I'll tell you some ideas I had later on, folks. But and by the way, you guys are welcome to suggest topics and of course my co-hosts, everybody. So. All right, so thanks everybody. Really appreciate you all being here and watching. Please make sure you subscribe to Mean Mr. Mayo if you haven't already. Subscribe to Matthew Street, and also subscribe to Two Legs, the McCartney podcast,
and
Talk More Talk. Yeah.
Talk More Talk. Yeah,
talk.
Because I have to do a little I don't know, advertisement for the last one we put up. We discussed Ringo's 1978 Bad Boy album. Not for everybody, but it's a series that we call Another Listen, which means that we go back and listen to an album that's been pretty derided and decide whether or not we think that it's deserves its reputation as that or not. And that's over on YouTube also on the Talk More Talk channel. We're almost up to 1,000 subs over there. So
that's awesome. Yeah, great.
Please sub to us. Okay, folks. So thank you, everybody. This is me, Mr. Mayo, for Matthew Street and Tom Hunyadi. Take care.
Take care, everybody.
Talk to you all soon.